Well, it's 8:01. We'll get some more people timing in here, but I wanted to kick things off this evening. It's a very special edition of our Tuesday night community calls. We have a guest on stage with us with the glorious Doodle. Happy 1 year anniversary to Doodles, by the way. John HQ. If you don't follow him on Twitter, if you're not familiar, he's a Discord security expert. Um, I have tweet notifications on for a very small group of people on Twitter. One of them is Mike Dudis, which is how I originally joined LinksDAO, but John is another one of them. When those Discord server hacks and compromises and stolen passwords happen, or bots that get compromised, um, John is the person I look to for advice and learn about how to make sure we keep communities safe in Web3 and on Discord. So without further ado, I would like to invite John to speak and maybe tell us a little bit about what he does. John is joining LinksDAO for a Discord security audit to make sure that we are up to snuff and doing all the right things before our profile picture drops. So John, I'd love to turn it over to you.
Yeah, thanks for the intro there. Yeah, like you said, I work a lot in the space. I've been branching out to a little bit more general Web3 security, content sharing as well. But a lot of my focus has been, around Discord security and trying to stay, one step ahead of the phishers and the scammers in the space. So I spent a lot of time both helping projects secure their servers, but then I also spent a lot of time helping, both the victims of phishing attacks and scams, as well as the projects that get hit, um, to do a couple of things. I mean, one, obviously, to help them. Two, also is to better understand, how the different schemes are actually working, so I can better come up with mitigation techniques to, better secure the space. Um, and yeah, so the primary thing that I do actually for work at this point is helping out projects like LinksDAO and doing what I call a Discord audit. So what I do in that is I basically go through the Discord server, I go through all the roles, I go through all the channels, I check every single individual permission in the server, um, and basically most of the time I'm removing permissions, trying to get it down to the very bare minimum that the project actually needs to function. It's something that I like to say is it's easy to secure a Discord, but it's hard to secure a Discord, still have it be usable. Um, so really just honestly, it's a lot of manual labor, both figuring out what the team needs as well as going through the server and locking everything down.
Excellent. Are there any other notable projects that you've done, server audits on, or that you can speak to, or any favorite projects that you've worked with in the past?
Sure. I mean, so recently I just finished a server setup for Street Machine NFT, which they're getting pretty hyped. They're doing a reveal soon. Um, I worked with Pudgy Penguins. I've worked with Cool Cats, Cool Man's Universe, Chubbyverse, Cheebs. There's a lot of C projects apparently. Um, but I mean, I've been doing this pretty much full time since October of last year, so almost a year, pretty much of doing it. So I've worked with just a lot of projects at this point. And the only unfortunate thing is just that I have only so many hours in the day, because there's an untold amount of projects out in the space, and only so much time to actually secure them all. Which is why I'm also pretty active in Server Forge, which is another community that is working to train up more Discord auditors and Web3 security people. So spreading content, I think, is also like an integral part of what I do.
Absolutely. I wanted to ask, are you a golfer by any chance?
So, I know I also DM'd you a question around LinksDAO that was related to my answer here. Um, am I a golfer? I can golf, not very well, but my dad is an avid golfer, so I've gone out on the course with him, and broken his friend's driver on occasion that I borrowed. But I do enjoy golfing. I do enjoy even when he wakes me up at 6 a.m. to get to the course.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, but I wouldn't say I'm very good at it.
Well, very cool. We appreciate all the, hard work you do for the space and everything you do to keep Web3 secure. And if you ever need a golf audit, you know where to go. Somebody in this server would be happy to help you out with your golf game the way you're helping us out with security.
That would be awesome.
If there are any questions anyone has, either the folks up here on stage about the audit process or anybody in the audience, if you want to raise your hand, or say hi to John, feel free to do so.
Yeah, so I've been on Discord for, I don't know, 7 years, 8 years. I don't know the exact date. But I've been on Discord for a very long time. Primarily for video games. So I play a lot of video games. And I've created Discord communities for like Minecraft servers and things like that. And I used to work for Ripple, which means that I also helped with sort of a community XRP Discord server. Which, I mean, it made sense that more people in crypto were going to start using Discord, and use it, because it's a good platform to communicate. It's a good platform to pull people in and just have a voice call pretty easily. It's better than Slack or other things for large community spaces. But in all that time, I never really considered that scammers or phishers would get so interested in attacking Discords. And honestly, I don't think anyone else really in the Discord space in general was thinking along those lines either. So it really took sort of the culmination of two things. One, the whole idea of Web3, where it suddenly became much easier to interact with a wallet through a browser. I think that sort of creation, with MetaMask and with just being able to click a link on a website to bring up a cryptocurrency transaction, uh, it really sort of started opening the eyes of phishing, and then combine that with a new platform that people really didn't take a whole lot of time to consider how to lock it down securely, led to sort of the epidemic of phished and compromised discords that we've seen for basically the last year. Um, I don't think for large communities, like it was always built around replacing other platforms like Skype, like TeamSpeak, really places where people would have a server and maybe 20 people would join it at most. Like that was sort of the underlying platform, at least that I was explained, in the early days. Um, and especially in those early days, like the big issue with Skype, TeamSpeak, potentially even Mumble, although Mumble was better, is it was really, really easy for your IP address to leak, because some of those use centralized servers that people would actually have to host themselves. Skype was just terrible and continues to be terrible and would just sometimes just leak your IP address because why not? Um, so Discord really got adopted, at least in my eyes, by a lot of hardcore video gamers because of the fact that it was a centralized platform where your IP address just wasn't going to leak. Weirdly enough, but yeah, I don't really, I don't think that they thought it would sort of blow up and become these massive communities like it has become.
PM, welcome to the stage. Oh, lost TM. Cool. I had another question for you, John. This is one that's particularly interesting to me in the Web3 space is, you know, people complain a lot about Discord. Obviously, the folks in this room, in the audience, right, we're big fans. Do you see any Discord competitors for Web3 that you're particularly excited about, or that you think might be a better way on the horizon for communities to congregate? Or do you see Discord as kind of retaining its dominance in that field?
Um, so I've done a lot of marketing in my past lives as well. Um, and for Discord to get dethroned, you have to get rid of the network effects essentially. Um, quite frankly, I don't see that ever really happening. There's just too much value for NFT projects in particular to continue using Discord. It's much easier to grow your community. It's much easier for your project to get shared in more places. Um, so it really would take a large portion of the community moving to a new platform that might be better, might be worse, for that community to actually shift and break the network effect. So I don't think that would be the case. But that being said, for projects who really don't want to use Discord, there has been some success in just using Twitter alone. I think that's a route that could work as well. But for the other part of your question about like if I see any platforms that are being developed right now that I actually like, I don't have any that I could list specifically at this stage. There are some that are like really, really early stage that are kind of more like privacy focused that I think are pretty cool. But they're nowhere near the stage they need to be to actually replace even like half of the functionality of Discord.
Right. Cool. TM, we got you back up.
Yeah, I did enable my microphone. Thank you for having me. Jonna, it sounds like you're using some Leafs privilege principles, which sounds great. But are there any like baseline security controls that you're looking to implement, like going server to server, or do they kind of vary a lot when you go between the different servers?
Yeah. So if it was simple and baseline, my life would be infinitely easier. People kind of discuss, making a Discord bot that would do it all. That would go through all the channels and set up the permissions correctly and handle all the security stuff. And you just have one bot, you click a button, it's done. Unfortunately, it just doesn't end up working like that. Every project functions slightly differently, has different things that they need to actually happen inside of their community. Like just to take a very quick example here, in this Discord, there was just a community quiz event. So that needs a specific channel set up for the quiz bot to live in, where the quiz bot only has permissions in that channel. So set up things like that where you have to understand what the project team wants and then also come up with a way to mitigate and provide the least amount of permissions is functionally what I end up doing for most of the time during the audit. But that being
Are
said,
there
like,
any?
go ahead.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. No, go
Oh
ahead.
yeah,
I was going to go to another question.
I was gonna say like there are some server or industry standard like security practices that are pretty well. I mean, I've tried to spread them as much as I can. Like simple things that kind of are easy to mess up essentially. So a lot of servers will give their moderators kick and ban permissions. Giving them access to kick permissions gives them access to the prune function, which has the potential to remove a lot of your community members from the server who haven't been active for 7 days, which you really don't want to lose community members like that. So just removing kick from all moderators is something that pretty much every server should do. So like there are some best practices that should be done across all the different servers, and I try and share as much of those best practices as I can.
Great. Thank you. That answered my second question. I was wondering if there are any other like common misconfigurations that people do, and
Oh,
it sounds like
I
using the prune one is one of them.
I have my favorite one, and by my favorite, I hate this. When you create a brand new Discord server, for whatever goddamn reason, Discord decided that the @everyone role should be able to ping everyone in the server. So that's just a default setting that every new Discord server has, and every one that gets created, like that's the default. This normally isn't a big issue, right? Because most projects, once they launch the Discord, like they know enough to go turn off the @everyone ping from the everyone role, right? But the other little fun way that Discord works is whenever you create a new role in the server, it copies that base @everyone role permission list. So every new role that you make in the server is also going to have that @everyone ping permission, which also is fine because people usually go through the roles and check them and make sure that they don't have the @everyone ping. But the third thing that's fun is there's a role in every Discord server that isn't created until someone actually server boosts the server. So I can't even tell you how many NFT projects I've gone into where if you just boost the server, you can suddenly ping everyone in the Discord. And these are like huge servers with like 25,000 people in it. So like there's just all these like tiny little edge cases in Discord that make it really difficult to both set up and then also, do an audit correctly.
That's interesting. Thank you for sharing. Appreciate that.
And the other side of it that has made me so fascinated in this as well, before NFT servers started getting hit, people weren't like spending hours trying to come up with the edge cases on both sides, right? Like scammers weren't, trying to figure out ways that they could do permission escalation in Discord, because like before, what would you get? You'd get control of a server and you could nuke it, and that's like the most you could do. Now, when there's actual money on the line, the scammers are incentivized to come up with new ways to compromise servers. And then on the other side, the people who are trying to defend communities have to come up with, those same edge cases to defend against. So it's been kind of a fascinating cat and mouse game, and something that I don't think a whole lot of people have really thought too much about.
Yeah.
I assume that Discord is also developing new tools and changing things. So you're kind of trying to fight this on the fly as well.
Yes. So new features add in new issues. Also new, like I have a good example, but I also don't want to bring it up because I haven't seen it used in the wild maliciously yet. But the good side is that Discord is coming out with new issues to help protect communities more too. The irony here, though, is they're not coming out with these new features to protect NFT servers. What's actually happening is the scammers who come up with these new techniques to get into NFT servers, those techniques actually just get sort of reused and recycled as features to like general Discord worms, essentially, that go and hit, like furry, anime, video game communities, just general communities. So the sort of like arms race of scammers trying to get into NFT discords has actually accelerated the general arms race of Discord scamming in other places as well, which is requiring Discord to sort of react a lot faster these days.
Yeah, hopefully they keep on coming out with more tools for us and keep everybody on Discord safe. That's fantastic. Well, really looking forward to working with you on this audit, John, and I appreciate you stopping by to fill us in on the process and a little bit more about you.
Of course, thanks for having me over.
All right. Next up, I wanted to talk about the Great DAO Bates. We're kicking off next week with debates about the golf course acquisition process and those desired traits we want to talk about most of the golf courses. And we may, I know Bez isn't up here, we may have some specific examples for each side to kind of reference, but fingers crossed on that. Again, so if you did sign up for that, make sure to check your email, get back to me. We'll get the planning done for those debates. I know something we're all really excited about, the PFP collection. We are getting close to the end of the process of getting ready to launch the PFP, the kind of marketing cycle. And I really want to talk to you guys, the community, about fun ideas for one-of-ones, right? There are no guarantees for what we're going to actually, end up doing for the one-of-ones. It depends on the artists and time and everything else, but we have, some fun ideas like a Tiger Woods one-of-one, a Bill Murray, a Happy Gilmore, that kind of a thing. So if you have any ideas for like super rare one-of-one PFPs that you want to see in the collection, pop into the PFP channel and let's talk about those ideas. We can definitely brainstorm some fun stuff there. If anything's jumping in your head right now, type it up and we'll talk about that. Jordan, I know we have a special Twitter Spaces coming up on Thursday. Do you want to fill us in on what's happening then?
Yeah, definitely. So Thursday we're doing a Twitter Spaces at 12 Eastern. We will post this on Twitter with the link, obviously, with Jake Hutt, Hutt. You can find him on Instagram. He's got some really awesome videos on there where he does golf instruction to original music. So I talked to him about this. He actually records the songs themselves, the beats, the vocals, and then does the instruction through music, which is obviously very unique. And I found that interesting, and he wants to chat with us. He also is a founder of Drivebox, which is kind of like if you took 5-iron or a simulator and made it mobile. It can move around, drive around, go to bars, go to parties, whatever, and all that kind of stuff. So he's going to talk to us about that too. So we are chatting with him at 12 Eastern on Thursday.
Love that. And LinksDAO OGs will remember Drivebox has been a friend of the DAO for a while, and we're really stoked to continue talking and hearing more about his awesome instruction process and the songs he's making. So sweet stuff there. Remember to set your reminders and retweet that Spaces post when we tweet it. Next up, if you have not yet created your Clubhouse profile, go to clubhouse.linksdao.io and set that up. Get your benefits, the token gated site for membership. It is really cool, really coming along. Big shout out to the dev pod for that. Another thing that's growing, building, becoming more prevalent on Clubhouse is the GGA, the Global Golf Association for Reciprocity. Tungsten, got any updates for us?
Yeah, absolutely. When it comes to reciprocity, I hope that we always have updates because the Global Golf Association is just one of the many different types of golf reciprocity we hope to eventually have inside the clubhouse someday. And the devs are working hard, and I'm sure they'll continue to do so. But for tonight, GGA updates. Well, happy to say that we added another 5 clubs to the network. So we're up to 30 different clubs across the network right now in 11 different states. Virginia just came online. Massachusetts just came online. Rhode Island and Connecticut are coming online this week. So really exciting growth there. I do want to take a moment to thank everyone who has been an early user of the platform. We've had a number of members, I see a couple of you in the audience, that have made early requests, been early participants as hosts, and your feedback has been invaluable. We're ironing out some bugs, making sure messaging is nice and smooth, making sure it's very clear on what to do when you're in there, and it's going really well so far. Just wanted to say we really appreciate your feedback, and we should be opening up much wider access in a few weeks. Get a couple more courses online right here, get a couple final things sorted out on the dev side of things, and we'll be off to the races. But for now, thanks for your support. Stay tuned. Let's go play more golf together. And if you would like access to the GGA in the clubhouse and you don't have it yet, feel free to shoot me a DM and we will get you set up.
Love it.
Appreciate the opportunity. Of course.
Love it. Sweet, y'all. I also wanted to tap in. We are streaming PGA 2K23, which just came out, frequently in the Discord now. If you have a PC, an Xbox One, or a PS4, and you want to play with us, you want to join the streams, you want to compete in the LinksDAO Society, shoot me a DM with your name, email address, and what console or PC, if you're on what platform you're playing on, and we are going to get you a copy of PGA 2K23 free from our partner Topgolf. So really stoked about that. Working on some really, really cool stuff on the gaming side, and ways we can work with our partners and celebrities and other ways to participate and play some virtual golf as the weather turns for most of us. So stoked about that as well. And for something that I know a lot of you are sticking around for, I wanted to give away the Ledger Nano S hardware wallet. So let me run this here really quick. By the way, if there are any questions, as always, feel free to raise your hand. Okay. And just cross-referencing our quiz house participants with people who are still here in the chat. Picking a winner. Can I get a drum roll? And okay. Try one more. Too many people participated in quiz house but didn't come to the podium. Missing out. Would have won a ledger. Wow, I keep picking people who are not in here. All right, we'll do it this way. Rusty Shackelford. Congratulations, you've won the Ledger Nano S. DM me and we'll get you set up and get that sent out. Appreciate y'all very much for being here, and we'll see you on Thursday for the Twitter Spaces. Thanks again to John HQ for stopping by.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.